The Baja 1000 it's the craziest thing I think you can voluntarily sign up for, honestly. I just am not aware of, I mean, it's right there with Everest and, you know, any other sort of just absolutely nutty sort of athletic, but it's not really athletic, you know, like a triathlon's athletic. You know, you're exercising all day. And this is the definition of chaos and adventure, and yeah, it's, you know, it changes every year. It's a race against the elements. It's a race against the course. The course is always different, and the hazards are, you know, ever changing. So it's not just like a known thing. It's not like a racetrack. No. What? I thought you said we weren't doing that.
I gotta have some basics though.
What? So you want my name and everything? All right.
Stick you in.
Patrick Culligan, 38, new dad, and my friends call me Sparky. I've wanted to race Baja since at least 6 years old, and I thought, you know, I had a go-kart when I was 8, and I thought a trophy truck or something would be really cool when I was 16. And then you realize trophy trucks are like $1 million, and that's not gonna happen. So I've always ridden motorcycles as I guess I got my first motorcycle at 9, and best memories growing up were riding dirt bikes with my dad. I had some great friends too that started riding, and you know, they race motorcycles in Baja, so that's an easier step to take, I think. And it just never went away. I mean, even in my 20s when I couldn't figure out upside down from right side up, and I still always had a dirt bike and always wanted to get out there, and finally made, you know, serious intentions out of it. God, the prep is never ending, and you can drive yourself nuts, but at the end of the day, you got to ride your motorcycle and figure out what hurts and figure out how to make it hurt less, and then, you know, make friends with pain and discomfort, and know the difference between being uncomfortable versus, you know, hurting yourself, or things that'll end your race, end your day. Focus on the bike prep. It does matter, you know, to prep it correctly. The suspension's got to be good. The motor's got to be reliable but powerful, so it can, you know, do the things it needs to do. Just getting comfortable, you know, find ways to just be comfortable on that bike for hours and hours and hours, and you've got to, you know, make sure that everything works, is reliable, you know, and there's just at least half of it is something I don't feel like you can train for, and you know, just preparing yourself mentally for very, very, very long day and a second day, you know, nonstop. And I think that part is really tricky, because there's just no other time in your life. You know, most people have never stayed up 2 days straight, you know, racing, and it's hard to know exactly what to do there too, because I've never stayed up that long racing. So, and the kind of the understanding within yourself, you know, the want for it, and I don't even say I want it, I just need it. I need to do this, and I need to finish it. And so just kind of reminding yourself, and I mean, more than that, even, you know, reminding your support system, because everybody loves you, tell you, you know, you don't have to do this, but I just don't see it that way. And so my dream becomes their dream for me, in a sense too, because they really want to see me do it as well. And, you know, that's a really powerful experience to have too. So they're just, it's wild, you know, it's really, truly something that you can't find in many other places, I feel like. I mean, that off-road racing in general, but this is just the biggest, baddest one. You know, I don't really know who thought this was a good idea to begin with, but enough crazy people have continued, the tradition of sorts to go racing. And I've asked myself a lot, like, why does anyone want to do this kind of thing? And because I'm certainly not the only one. Yeah, it's hard to put into words what it means to me, but I've wanted to do it for so long. The history of Baja, man, I don't know, it's something special. You can't, it's hard until you go down there and experience it for yourself. It's really hard to explain, but it's, it's like nothing else you can find on this planet, and it really is its own special thing, and it's kind of its own little magic, and it's crazy, peaceful, space that's desolate and, forbidding in a lot of ways, and then you're racing a motorcycle through it, and as fast as you can, as long as you can, and at the end, what do you get? You just the chance to continue on about your life. So it's an interesting endeavor, but it means a lot to me, and people around me that are supporting me. That whole effort is pretty special. Those trophy trucks, we start ahead of them. We get a head start, but then the fastest trophy trucks pass every single rider, out there, other than maybe the absolute fastest guys, and it alternates kind of every year if the trophy trucks catch the pro riders or not. But I've talked to buddies, who've nearly met their maker, just going, pulled off, slower, waiting for the trophy truck to pass, and the trophy truck comes flying by at 100 miles an hour, and within inches, and it's like, I don't think that guy saw you. So I can't prepare for that. Best I can do is run, blue blinking lights, red blinking lights, red light on my helmet thanks to Brake Free, and that kind of preparation is like, it's the best you can do, and then you got to just put that fear aside, because it's not really serving you. If you're not going to change anything, what can you change? You've run all the lights, you've done as much safety prep as you can around it, and you just got to move on. So I always try to ride 8/10. I'm not trying to win the thing, I'm just trying to finish and do something that I feel like I would be proud of proud of the effort for years to come. The only thing I'm excited about is finishing. I don't care about the margaritas or anything else. It's single focus on crossing that finish line in under 50 hours and staying healthy and just making my buddies and my family and my loved ones proud. And that is, I know it's kind of funny, it's just so single-minded, but it's the big goal, and nothing else matters. Baja is like, this is all I know as far as like what I desire, right? I mean, yeah, there's other things and distractions and stuff like that, and I love racing of all forms, and I love a good time, and experiences like just going out and camping and riding dirt bikes, like at its core, that's fantastic. How could you really? It's a great time, I don't get excited to do, I don't get excited to watch a football game, like, and the motorcycle is just taking you to places, it's constantly different. And so I think a lot of people who are really ADD, they make good racers or are drawn to that kind of thing because it just wakes up your brain in a different way. The serotonin is processing differently, when you get to do this kind of stuff, and that high, it's like a runner's high, but it's exciting because it's like, look, if you don't pay attention, it's gonna hurt, so you better pay attention. So it's got that runner's high combined with a kind of a roller coaster, and I think that's, by and large, I think that's why a lot of people ride motorcycles, and myself included, just to sum it up that way. But well, it's funny because there's two different types of Baja 1000s. There's the Baja 1000 that begins and ends in Ensenada, so it's basically a loop race or a lollipop race, and those are typically for like the sportsman, like 750 miles. You know, the non-sportsman class, the kind of faster classes and stuff. They're racing like 850, maybe 900, you know, that kind of thing. And then a peninsula run, which is usually from Ensenada to La Paz, is, you know, always over 1,000 miles, always. You know, it can be 1150, 1200, and they, you know, they usually the way they run it, like it's a faster course. It's actually oftentimes felt like it's not even, it's got more miles, but it's not quite as hard. Well, this year they managed to include all of the whoops in San Felipe, and so, and they, you know, you could stay one side to the other of the peninsula, which would avoid those, but they chose to, they just picked every one of the hard things you can find. And so that this year it's 1,310 miles. It's almost 1,311 miles. I think at that point every little inch is going to hurt. So yeah, it's just like it's hard on top of harder. It is going to be a very, 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 very hard day, a couple days, very, very hard race. And you know, I think at the end of the day that it does make it a little bit more meaningful, you know. So hey, you raced the Baja 1000. Oh yeah, and it was also like the longest it's ever been. So that's well, maybe I'll get a shirt that says Baja 1311. So